RRQ is just leaving more options right here. They don't really need to actually eliminate so many of these marksmen because you know there's always going to be a Granger. There's going to be that Kimmy as well. Same goes to Carry. So this is definitely going to be shaping out how all these sort of things could possibly go for game number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but a lot of the safe picks have been taken out. Harith going to be a strong lock-in for RRQ, but this kind of opens them up to give some quality picks over to EVOS Legends, who probably, for a fact, don't really want to open up with something that's too narrow. They want to open up the draft a little bit more, save themselves for counter picks, look for those flex picks, but instead, I think they've just kind of revealed, hey, we have options, but for now, know that we can split push.
Wow, they've set this one up. I talk about the bans to actually open up options here, and that Harith is one pick that has been sought after by both teams. Now, Valor as well as the Hylos is going to be completing their first phase for EVOS Legends. Let's talk through this because we know Valor has been really vital in most of all these series that we saw. Game after game from the group stages all the way to playoffs.
Yep.
This is the reliable burst mage that they needed.
Yeah, and more importantly, Valir creates space for the team. And I think that's like a really underrated part of Valir. Like, yes, he does damage, but if he's able to kind of keep you at a distance with those flame balls, it can be very frustrating because now it's really difficult for EVOS to say, yes, I want to lock in the box here to deal with the high loss. And maybe even, you know, Harith when he gets that concentrated energy, but it's like when you see Valir, your Boxia might not be able to get in and put down that Tortoise Puissance all over the map.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult if they really don't get that being banned away. But now Kimmy is the one being removed because they've already got, in a way, a mage or marksman of sense. But Lilia, let's talk about this Lilia here because we've seen a whole lot more Lilia ever since 10 Seconds Gaming Plus have been picking it a lot. And also, we also see RRQ alongside with EVOS who are really familiar with the Dark Mage.
Yeah, and again, I think Lilia, you know, a large rising star realizing that, you know, Lilia can actually do quite a lot more, even though you are required to have a certain skill level to land Gloom most of the time and set up those chain reactions to get some maximum damage. It is a very effective pick when you need to get out of like tight situations. Oh, you're locked down, just press the black shoes. Oh, you're out of shadow balls, just press the black shoes, and you just get a huge replay of it every single time. And I think, you know, group stage just Lilia barely appeared, maybe once, maybe twice, but now she's become a very prominent pick.
It's been a really prominent one indeed, and you can even pair things like a Purify to make sure you have a little bit more stability if you were ever to be caught out. And now, looking into its EVOS Legends lineup, this is a hyper-scaling sort of composition that they are having. Lolita 4th pick for EVOS Legends.
Oh, very early Lolita pick here. I think they want to wait to kind of like a point and click, make sure if Harith decides to go in and is out of position, you can lock him down with the charge. Even for a split second, that should give enough time for the rest of the team to collapse on him. RRQ, they kind of have to set up around the Lolita. Now that they know it, it's like, oh, you know, if I want to force out a Chang'e, not going to be too great. Granger, his Death Sonata can be blocked by the shield, but, you know, it's not like the hardest counter in the world.
Yeah, I certainly would say that there's still many ways to actually counter that in that sort of sense. And, of course, back in towards the side of EVOS Legends here, there's a couple more options on the table. If they really want to go for a marksman, then, yeah, that's still the carry right outside. And if they want to go for a little bit of that double mage composition, you know, Chang'e has been always appearing in that sort of battle, especially on Todak's side way early on.
That's true, that's true. And they did take a game because of it against RRQ. I don't know if EVOS Legends want to take the same route. Zayas is kind of giving, the coach for EVOS Legends is kind of thinking about it, like what do they go for? Ooh!
Whoa!
It's time! And I've talked about this previously, like in the group stages, I joked about it, like, why don't people bring Zas? Like, Zas is great. Zas can do a lot, has a lot of options, is super, super annoying, and I think now is the time to bring it out. Very bold for EVOS Legends. I want to see how they play Zas.
I want to see how they actually control the tempo, especially when you know Zas is somewhere towards the mid-game where he will start to ramp up. And if you really want to go for those split pushes, he can also hold on for those pushes as much as he wants. And wow, pleasant surprise. We never thought that they would actually bring it in, especially in the grand final stages.
Yeah, it's extremely bold here. And I think they're setting I'm pretty sure they're setting up We Will Rock You right in the back there. Oh, man.
Tutu versus Wreck, please.
Yes!
Let's see that happen.
Yes, I love it. The fans are ecstatic. They're ready to go at it. And now, as the teams get ready to load into the game, hopefully they are ready to bring out something new. I mean, the Zosk is looking pretty good. I want to see how that plays out. I'm not sure who exactly is playing on it, but that will kind of give us an idea whether he's going to be in that support role or he's going to be that, you know, hard mage, hard carry role.
Yeah, and it will be amazing to see players like Tsuru actually pulling that one out, because we've never really seen him go in for that pick all too often either. Now, that Zaz will be protected by the Lolita, so it's really hard to actually get anywhere close to him either ways. So how does RRQ actually find a way to work around this? Because they do have the Cho,
yeah,
but they have to get past so many of these frontliners from EVOS Legends.
That's true. It's going to be tough because now that you have the Grok, you have Lolita, you have options to kind of disengage from bad fights. And I think that's really, both teams want to go front to front. And that's why they have the Valir to make sure it's a front to front. You go into our backline like, nah, I'm going to push you away. With the options like Grok, I think that's going to change a little bit more, and it sounds like the games are getting really pretty hyped here.
We're not the only ones pumped up. All the casters that are joining alongside with us. We have the Indonesians as well, the Malaysian casters here. Of course, kicking things off alongside with us. It's time for us to head in towards our very first game. Before that, let's introduce them once more. Our RQ side will feel Sin, Liam, Lemon, Tutu, as well as Ben.
But don't forget about EVOS Legends. It's going to be Donkey, arguably one of the best players there to kind of stop this lineup here. I want to see him pop off because, again, time and time again, this one man single-handedly hands games over to his team, making the carry roles look so easy to play.
Yeah, and I gotta say that there's so much more than just that. Well, Sin, as well as all these guys from EVOS Legends, there will be bloodshed, there will be tears after all these series that we have concluded. Now it's time for our very first ever best of 7, and now it's game 1 showtime.
Let's see how they want to play this out. Looks like Lemon is going onto that fighter role, as you can see with the high and dry. That gives you a lot of info. Ooh, he's going to get chucked out and punished here. He's already down to 50% HP. As the rest of the top side, they sent 3 members top side. I'm pretty sure somebody has an arrival to catch that bottom wave. Looks like Masha is kind of hanging around Gargoyle side. Interesting play coming in from EVOS Legends just to ensure that they steal away this buff.
Well, EVOS Legends here with some aggressive attempts. Same goes to RRQ. 3 members versus 2. Donkey's gonna swing his arms around. Doesn't really do all too much damage towards Liam and Sin though, as they will slowly regroup for another push. But the proxy is not over yet, as we see EVOS Legends here being pretty much greedy on approach. Takes on the second wave as well as the River Crab at the same time. So, of course, Zaz is going to be having a really good time up there pulling that show.
Yeah, I think this is really smart. Oh, wait, no, Lemon's in trouble. He's going down. First blood going over to EVOS Legends. Arrival coming in from Liam. He's trying to make a difference, bring a punishment. I think he's going to go down here. Here, giving another kill over to EVOS Legends. The channel took a little too long.
Absolute domination in the early phase. Then this proves to be a little bit way too much. It's just a melee matchup, and now they're walking to a trap once again. Lemon watching things go down, and Luminaire already zoning him out, but Lemon needs to actually find a response or give this first turret to EVOS Legends.
Yep, they're using Zosk as a siege mechanic. One is kind of walking around, helping him siege. Like, if somebody walks up, they get chunked out very, very hard by Gloom, and the early game from Lilia and the range that she provides is just so effective. Let's see how they... I want to see what RRQ is going to do in response, because EVOS Legends just denied them. They denied them the invade. They denied them getting their buffs. What can they do at this point of time?
Well, there's so much to be done here, and I think that they really want to force some objectives instead. They can give one turret up, but they could not afford to lose this turtle. Here comes Winter Dragon going on to Donkey. Salmon Force being popped out as well. One dancing around Liam.
Oh!
Liam, oh my goodness. Donkey will be able to survive, but Liam instead caught on his foot, and that will be one more being drawn out. EVOS Legends, and they are just crushing it.
That was a great save. Now they're doing the zone control. Sin's in trouble. Can he get out? No, he cannot. The Luminor Blast with the flicker ensures his death. Vin, he can't really do too much. Luminaire is just walking in his face. What you gonna do, boy? As the rest of the team slowly peels backwards. Luminaire has to now go down, but the Death Sonata's coming through. All three left. Tuturu doesn't miss the shot.
That was a perfect Death Sonata. Here comes Winter Dragon as well. Righteous Pathway has already been opened up. Liam's gonna go in for a charge as well. And this is an extended fight that we're seeing as the tour goes on a triple threat.
Strong play, but notice that Masha on the bottom side of the map is holding her ground, and she's getting quite a lot of pressure here. Liam quickly using the arrival to get on top of Aura. Aura is just too weak as of yet to take him on 1v1. Forcing out the flicker. Liam continuing the chase. He's a little low, but Lolita should be able to pick him up. Aura, he sees the opportunity. He pops his passive, activates it, gets the second bar, and kills him in response.
Perfect baiting coming in from EVOS, and now Luminaire trying to actually chunk up some health. Here comes Lemon with the way of the dragon, pushing him all the way towards the turret range. But Luminaire here still surviving. Here goes the cavalry, have just arrived. And now the Zaz will be on the pushing steroids. And RRQ, they are just slowly bleeding in this 5-4.
That was so well done. I mean, holy cow, I think Aura literally just saved the Lolita. But wait, hold on. Sin might be in a little bit of trouble here. He has to send his back out. Aura gets right on top of him. You took a little too much damage. You're in my kill zone.
That was absolutely beautiful. Didn't really see that wall charge connecting to a setup for the Chow. And that's 7 kills in the back already for EVOS Legends. And of course, if you haven't already shared this stream, go ahead and share all the love, because this Grand Finals is going to take some time to complete. Now, of course, all thanks to you, Mobile, for providing us some great stuff. Let's have a look into some of these potential island builds for these teams.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. I mean, both sides are holding on to their ground nicely. There is a three kill deficit coming in from RRQ, but they're not too far behind. They've been farming very efficiently. Windtalker just been farmed, and now they're contesting for the Turtle. Sin, Glorious Pathway in the back line. Liam is making something happen here. Turtle has been slain, and the rest of the team has to pull back. There is no reason for them to go any further. Numenor Blast being held up. Wreck is in trouble. Oh, he's going down. Liam is going to be the first to go as the rest of the team in the back line. As Sin is trying to make it all work together, but what goes back with the black shoe? With the black shoes. She's going to be A-okay.
Luminaire missing out the huge element right there, trying to actually head in towards that pit, but not really clipping onto any members of WorldChampionship. But they did catch out Liam in that sort of sense for a 1-2-1. But here comes another dive, trying to actually secure the tower, and Lemon's going to make a move first. And look at Sin, he's just dashing around with the chrono, and one will catch out that kill. Lemon down on the ground now. It's all up to Sin, but Sin, can he take it all up? Now gets here with the wall charge, and this is a goner for Sin.
Yes,
but he's still hanging on.
Landed.
What?
He's got to stick it. Yes, he sticks the ability, uses the black shoes just to ensure his death, just in case he misses in that sense. But they lose topside in response. EVOS Legends 2K gold lead ahead, but RRQ very close behind.
Well, we're looking at Luminaire here, trying to actually reset a little bit of that tempo. Donkey just opting to spot out that buff with an attempt to steal it away. And EVOS now having that sort of a 2K goal lead. And usually at this point, if you're giving away 5 kills, most of the teams will be having a huge downer in terms of goal, but not for RRQ though. They're still hanging on, and Lemon here will be sacrificed with Donkey not coming on the air.
Yeah, these small catches are really helping EVOS get their split push game on lock, because Zask is puts so much pressure on the map, especially when he can do it at a safe distance. Not to mention that his ultimate putting down a super turret and going inside of it to kind of dodge these bigger abilities can be so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, and they just get completely zoned out in that sort of sense that they can't really split push effectively. They can't really commit to a team fight as well. So Rex Kion here is in trouble once more. Sin, after that, actually take out this 1 versus 2, and those dashes won't be able to save him all too long. Numenor Blast will be missing out, and there's no more turrets for him to hide, but here comes Liam though.
Yep, the angle wasn't there yet. Liam as well as Luminaire, not really too exciting too exciting for both of them. They kind of understand like, we're just having a tickle fest here. Let's go back into our own respective zones. They want to keep control over the area here, but I think EVOS Legends, their composition just does it so much better. Our RRQ are kind of in this position where, you know, Lemon either has to make a play or Sin just has to dodge more abilities than EVOS can kind of duck under.
Well, I would say that there's still places to actually duck safely in that sense. But now, over the top side, what do we have here? Way of the Dragon onto Aura. Flicker has been popped as well. And here comes some down Sonata from Tsuru. Just not finishing up, but Chao will be the first one being slain in that skirmish. Liam right here holding on towards the mid lane. Knows that he can still go on lockdown against Luminaire, but not for long. Finn instead getting burst out. Whoa, look at that go. One is just scaling upwards. Luminaire almost catch him out.
Very, very close here, but Sin gets a good push, breaks the tier 2. However, he's losing on the tier 2 mid side, which is arguably more valuable as they will have control over the jungle and have more feasible pathways now that all the tier 2s are basically destroyed.
Well, I gotta just reiterate, 5 turrets in the span of less than 9 minutes. This is definitely a real good run for them in terms of a push. Liam already setting up with the pathway. I would say that it's pretty much unnecessary. Well, he popped it prematurely, and now there's the Lord coming up pretty much soon. And Vin, they're not really in this position to fight at all.
Exactly, and I think EVOS Legends are playing to their win conditions. They just need a zone control. RRQ have no real way of engaging except for either Sin or maybe even Lemon. This front to front is not looking as good as it initially thought. Lemon kicks away Luminaire, making sure he doesn't get on top of Vin. Vin can only do so much to zone control, but he's getting outranged by this Zask that it's becoming difficult for the team to walk up.
Well, we're seeing a split push coming out from the side of RRQ, knowing that they will have to give this one away to EVOS Legends. Now, there's going to be a lot of plays being bought out, and Tsuru here will be shredding Donkey to 60%. This is all being done by only one marksman. Imagine that 5-man effort will be able to actually take down Donkey, but that's a little bit too much of an overkill onto one tank. But the goal, of course, still swinging in the favor of the EVOS Legends.
Oh, looks like Aura's committing into this. They're going quite far out, but Vin is going to disengage, completely lock him off. But the problem is that they're losing position over the mid lane. They got pushed out of it, allowing EVOS Legends to keep control over this top side of the map, especially since they took Lord. This could be a little unforgiving.
Well, I'm not too sure whether or not will WorldChampionship can stop that Lord in time. There already is disaster alongside with the component of Rock to actually get a little bit of that push, but here comes Way of the Dragon onto Luminaire. That's gonna be pretty much a dead Lilia if they don't flicker away, and he just bought a little bit more seconds here. Sin instead forcing another one coming out from inside of Aura.
This is so good for EVOS Legends because Masha is just buying time. She could die here and she doesn't really care. She just needs to hold on until Sin can't really do much as the rest of RRQ has to defend this inhibitor. He has to go for the recall as EVOS Legends are going to break this. The Numenon Blast as well as Zas just zone controlling. They can't do much here. There's nothing they can do. And now Lord has been walking over to the second inhibitor.
They needed Sin, and where exactly is he? He's going in for the flank in and out. Little side of RRQ will commit to Sin. Luminaire gets kicked it all in the back, but he bought enough time, and RRQ now have to find a way, and one goes in for the first instead. It's a huge killing spree for EVOS Legends. One right there.
Oh, that was such a good duel. Juan coming up on top, buys the Genius one. 300 IQ there, but he set that up perfectly. He was kind of baiting out the Chrono Dash because he knows that it has a very short cooldown, but that is a window to allow Gloom to get on top of him, getting popped for 1.2k damage just with a Shadow Ball, and Gloom eating it and exploding. My God.
That was just the Shadow Ball. It's not even the full combo. Hi, look at this. 5-1 on that Lilia that we just talked about, and it's just so scary here, judging for the fact that Donkey could also soak in so much of that output coming from Finn as well as Sin. Here comes that kick that will connect, and there goes one. They picked up for that mega kill, killing spree for the Zas, and now there's gonna be a little bit of that reset. Next Lord coming out in 70 seconds.
I can't. This Zask is absolutely a beast. Like, he puts down the turret. There's multiple uses for it. It can block a lot of the damage coming in, especially from that Death Sonata. And that Rhapsody can't exactly go through it either. He can go inside of the turret, protect himself, go back out to dodge abilities, but he's still gonna have full health. Like, the only way for RRQ to kind of get ahead or at least win the fight is like how they did it just now, where they got Sin in the back line and pops the Xamot Force.
That's a rare occasion that you can actually pick him off. And of course, you also have to make sure that Luminaire does not disrupt that in that sort of sense, because that Numenon Blast being missed out gave a little bit more room for RRQ to react.
Yeah, and I think RRQ just need to figure out a way to get to the backline. Sin has a lot of work, and the same goes for Lemon. They have to make sure that they somehow find an angle to get in on them. EVOS Legends not going to let that happen here. It's coming very close to the later stages of the game. 5 more seconds until Lord comes back up. But again, EVOS just going to play to their own game, keep control over the map, make sure the waves is in their favor, and then just completely lock them out at choke points.
Well, that choke point is definitely coming into effect here, as EVOS Legends are already trying to actually disturb the Lord, but that will only be a bait. And now we're looking at Lemon here, trying to set things up. Donkey does have immortality, and now Liam being caught in between. He forces out that Righteous pathway as well. Now Sin, so actually taking a little bit more peek, as the rest of all these players are just going on that defensive mode. They cannot afford any sort of mistakes at all right here.
Exactly, and now, I mean, even though the Glorious Pathway has been popped, it's still going to be fine. The rest of the team is going through. Lemon's in trouble. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Aura is right on top of him. Luminaire peels backwards slowly. Great zone control coming in from Rek. Very close to the end. Lemon
Aura
still going to go down. Lemon for Masha seems pretty worth it. Now Sin trying to make a play on the backside here. Juan needs to get him out before he dies, but the Black Shoes is going to be enough to get him back up to health. Sin trying to make the play. He doesn't. He gets the Lilia, and now RRQ have found the opening that they've been waiting for. It's going to be a 3-for-1 trade.
This definitely will be the greatest of comeback if they could actually turn this game around with this Lord already for taking. But here comes Luminaire. What can the Lilia do as we see all 3 members crashing upon that mage as well as the tank? And here comes Flicker coming from the side of Luminaire, and it will be finished off by Valir.
Yep, Ice Queen Quan just being purchased by the Valir. He's going to make sure not only is he going to push you away, he's going to slow you down to allow the rest of RRQ to kind of chase them down. But now, Donkey's in a little bit of trouble, takes a full hit of the Rhapsody. He should be going down here. Immortality is going to get popped, but that's not going to be enough. RRQ want to keep control over this. The fans are extremely happy, but remember, the death timers are still not too long.
Of course, there's many things to be happy about here, because Tsuru, of course, finding so much of a grip in this game, and he's the hyper carry that everyone sought after as they managed to take down one of the best tanks in the world, Donkey. And for the first time, we saw that Grok fell as he already got so beefy, and that was definitely a thorn in the flesh for them for the longest of time. But RRQ, now, they've already set up the double push. Top side, bottom side will push natural with the Lord, and now they're giving this one away. EVOS Legends have to defend.
Yep, they know that they've kind of messed up that 50-50 earlier, and they have to just kind of let them take as many objectives as they want, because really they just want to survive and start another fight later on. Lord is walking through. Luminous Lord is going to be breaking into that inhibitor here.
Oh, here comes Chrono Dashes coming from Sin as well. Downforce being popped up, and Luminaire getting a little bit of that damage being soaked, but there will be all the other members ready for a fight coming from EVOS Legends. They're holding on towards the mid lane turret, will not let this one slip away. And the highlights trying to actually set things up. Oh! Great movements coming from across. And there's just that sort of a wall being created here. Donkey always on the front line, making sure that everything stays safe. Lemon taking a little bit of peek. And now even the bottom side have nothing for Rexware and Kion to actually seek advantage of. Lemon goes in though.
Luminaire, he's in trouble. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Sin right in the front line, but the rest of the team is holding on very, very well. Look at this. Rex is making sure that they can't really move forward. The waves are being cleared a little too fast, and Zask is holding on his own. Earlier, he was able to defend from Lord because of his annoying little mini turrets that he puts up to kind of protect it. It gives Lord a secondary target to hit, and he doesn't get the charge off.
Well, that charge definitely is going to be pretty important, but look at this. I would say that EVOS Legends could still hang on for the longest of time because of this sort of pickup. Well, Zaz, you talk about him being one of the greatest pushers of the game, and well, he could also be great work in towards defending the entirety of the base as well. How much time has he bought for the team? Now, even the kills doesn't really matter too much as Rexrium Keon has already breaking that sort of a lead back into his favor.
Yeah, what's really, I mean, the Nightmare spawns are doing such a good job. Oh, Donkey might be taking quite a bit of damage here, but I think he's just really tanky for the most part. He uses the wild charge to kind of create some space, and now Juan should be there to protect him, giving him a safe passage back to base. It's now even 55 to 53. RRQ finally have found the lead, but it's so late into the game, the goal doesn't really matter at this point, but they have at least come back from a huge goal deficit previously.
Well, a lot of all these wings have been bought by both sides of the party. Well, I'm just looking to see if members of EVOS Legends could even get anywhere close to taking down Toturu. Well, he does not buy Immortality yet, but he does have a full set of equipment coming up online. Look at the amount of damage on those minions, and well, 15 more seconds, and we just see that EVOS Legends want to find a way to get into the Lord.
Yeah, Liam taking quite a bit of damage here from the Nightmare spawn. The rest of the team is kind of just making sure they maintain the waves as much as they can. Ooh, a big arrival use. I kind of feel like they could have set it up for something else, like maybe even, you know, collecting mid lane with the arrival to kind of buy some time. And maybe look to destroy it. They're going to clear the waves. Lord is on the bottom side of the map. Masha is going to go for a slight split push here. If EVOS Legends can kind of hold their ground and buy some time for Masha to get some pressure, they might be able to force RRQ off of Lord.
Well, I would say that they have to try no matter what, and that split is going to be commencing really shortly, but Masha will be stopped on his tracks with that Chow for on the top side, but suppression coming in. Here comes the rest of the pathway over on the Sin as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be that
the Nightmare spawn. Oh, so close, so close. Wait, what's happening on the bottom, top side of the map? Lemon is in trouble. Gora has scaled super well, and he should be able to pick this kill up. This is a huge kill for EVOS Legends because now they have top side control. They can look to pick up Lord, or maybe look to end the game as they are trying to pick up Liam as well. They've locked him out. Donkey! His barrier is so good! Sin, he's turning around. He got hit by the Numenor Blast. Sin goes down. Immortality should be popping back up, but that lockdown is just too much. EVOS Legends looking to end the game through top side, and the next pushing wave is coming in.
The one who set the tempo was Ara, and now they're trying to break through the top side here. Only down to Tsuru, and he will be able to actually hold on for a little bit longer. Ara trying to escort this bit of wave, and Donkey soaking that damage to be taken down, but he does have Immortality as well as Wall Charge to escape, but not for Luminaire though. They have to sacrifice him for Tsuru's sake of a takedown.
This is unfortunate. They aren't able to actually take down the Crystal this time round. RRQ still have scaled very well, but Lord just has been taken away. Oh no, this is some bad timing. They're all dying at the wrong time. Gora is in trouble. He needs to get on there. The Nightmare spawn isn't able to help him out. Dutaru is not gonna let him walk away scot-free. This game is gonna be extended because Lord should be taken out easily by RRQ now. Look at those death timers.
And all those death timers is all thanks to Toturu, all putting them down in those fights. And every single one who came close had to fall with Finn now getting taken down. That was nasty.
That was really nasty. Yikes. Ouch. Oof. I mean, it's a feels bad moment, but what can you really do? Topside, Harith is kind of escorting the Lord into their favor, like, hey, don't worry, you're not going to be able to push any further from here. But the rest of EVOS Legends now respawning are looking to keep some control over the other two lanes, both mid and bottom, to hopefully maybe snag a kill here. Lemon is getting pretty low. Dutaru takes a little bit of damage, but he should be able to heal up with no issues.
All thanks to Dutaru. They managed to buy enough time to actually take out the Lord, take out all the other members. Oh my, Liam. Really bad position. This might just be that opening for EVOS Legends, and that will set him apart. and the barrier might just be the downfall of Liam right here. Here comes the righteous pathway.
Please
He survives!
Oh my goodness, all the abilities expanded to try and take him up, and he still lives. My goodness, Hylos, could you just go down, please, says EVOS Legends. But RRQ, now, because of that, they have a little bit more pressure to use, and maybe an option to kind of push them off. But EVOS Legends using that Nightmare Spawn super effectively. They need to hopefully break this mid-tier 3. Oh wait, no, Sid in the backline. He found a backline attack. He takes him out. Oh no, Sask is down. They're continuing their push. Lilia gets the kill onto Sid, and now the fight begins to continue as Luminaire takes quite a bit of damage, flickers backwards. Donkey going back into the safety of his team. Masha on the bottom side of the map, still getting a really good push, but now Lemon has to go occupy top side so that they don't push into the center. Aura's in trouble. He walks away. Liam is locked down. Can he please go down? Oh my goodness, he finally does, and now Tuturu has to deal with Donkey in his face.
Wow, after all of that, it's only 2 members of RRQ falling flat, but they were just looking to take down Rek because Rek was the one that caused so much nuisance, and with him around, Zaz could easily just take down that inhibitor on the mid lane. Now, this is still another second goal for EVOS Legends, but it's only the tanks and fighters to possibly split things up for now. Aura, I think this is definitely one of his greatest time for redemption here. We see him from the start being one of the OG members of EVOS Legends. And now it's time for him to be crafted in with his name written on that trophy to be known as the best of Mobile Legends.
You know, the worst part about this is that this is only game 1. There's still so much to come in this best of 7, but they're already putting a lot on the line here for both teams. Expect this best of 7 to be just as long.
Yeah, and every single game counts. Like, you can't come in with a mentality that, hey, if I drop a series, I still got a few more games to go. So, of course, EVOS, they usually will not even give that sort of advantage. Like, they really want to finish off that hit, that start of the game, at least get that momentum on track. But Liam, you talk about Liam here being pretty much indestructible. He has already built that immortality as well. So I don't think that any members of EVOS Legends wants to get anywhere to actually expend all these utilities on towards that tank.
Agreed. Now, you know, topside is always going to be pushed in, and I think that's kind of a given because the inhibitor is gone. I think Aura just... I'm not sure who bought the Blade of Despair, but I'm pretty sure it was Aura. It looked like Luminaire for a second, but yeah, Lauren is being held control by EVOS, and I think RRQ is going to wrestle for it back.
Looking at Luminaire, possibly just tickling onto Liam, but there's still a little bit of that push over the bottom side. Scott's going to handle it in time, but now RRQ opts to snatch this one away, and there is already a setup being done by Rek as he's exposing himself for a little bit more. All these potions being popped, and here comes a little bit of movement coming from the side of Sid. He's getting suppressed right under the noses here, but here comes Leo with a righteous pathway being opened up, and EVOS Legends, they have to fall back to Turu in the greatest of places. Opens up that Death Sonata, and there goes one member down for the side of EVOS. My, oh my, Aura now on the back foot, and there's going to be a bit here getting locked for a bit, but Luminaire, he tries to actually run away, going on the opposite direction, but how long can they hold on?
They can't. They're going to be going down. This is going to be a clean wipe coming in for RRQ. That Winter Truncheon is just biding its time. They take out Lemon, but Lemon has done a great job locking them up. He survives because of the immortality as the rest of the team gets onto Lauren. EVOS is forced to back away. Lemon, oh my goodness, RRQ just played the map perfectly, and they took a 50-50, and they won.
They won this pretty much cleanly in this sense, and EVOS Legends, they definitely got caught out in the worst time of it all. And speaking of getting catch here, Donkey needs to respect the distance, and now he's just trying to actually negate FinalsRRQ from claiming this for their own.
Yeah, and then nobody is going to get Lord this time round, and I think RRQ made some really good decisions there. They started a fight the moment they saw Lemon had a really good push. They saw bottom and mid pushing in very nicely, and that netted themselves a target. Donkey is in a little bit of trouble here. Zast won't be able to bail him out, even with the Nightmare spawn. Immortality has been popped. Donkey is trying to turn this around, holding himself up with the shield. The true damage coming on through, just not enough. Aura against Lemon, it's a 1v1 of a lifetime, but it's not going to be fair the moment Liam shows up to the battlefield thanks to a rival.
Well, Aura have no more left to do, and that will be a mega kill for Vin. 5-1-11. Look at how cleanly this Vin as well as Secure has been playing the entirety of game one. And there was way too much money in the pockets here. And speaking of money here, RRQ making a run for the $250 million.
Yeah, and now through slowly but surely, he will be able to take Lord with the rest of his team here. They're getting control. Valir is on the top side of the map as well as Lemon down in the bottom side. They are just making sure that they don't have any options for EVOS Legends to push on in. Can RRQ actually come out of this on top? It's looking really good for them. They've scaled so nicely.
I can't believe it. In game number one, we're breaking the 30-minute mark. And WorldChampion is on a stalemate for the longest of time alongside with EVOS Legends, but now that they do have the help of the Lord, they're trying to commit fully towards the bottom lane. That's where the very final inhibitor will be standing right before their eyes, and they gotta find a way to actually take down that Zast, who's already camping in the middle of that crystal.
Yeah, and the Nightmare spawns are just so frustrating to deal with, but it's gonna go down really, really quickly. But the rest of the team is holding on. This is the fight that they've been waiting for. Lauren is walking out through. The Nightmare spawn is not letting him go through. Doom in there. Gets a good catch onto the backline. Finn takes a good chunk of damage there. But in the mid lane, Liam is taking too much. He goes down thanks to Gloom. They're trying to protect every side of the map. They are doing a really good job. Sin is in trouble. He's holding on with his shield. He's holding it on with as long as he possibly can. Luminaire is blocking everything. He's making sure, hey, team, we got the first initial pick off. Now we're going to reset this all over again. We need to play our game.
Rekt has been doing such a great work. Luminaire got that huge Luminon blast to find a way to take down Liam. 0-8-9, but we know Liam is just a tanky Mitchell, just for them to actually set things up. Lemon now will lose off that buff to Donkey, but at this point, it doesn't even matter if you do have the buff.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of just denial. You want, there's nothing, you want to deny EVOS Legends from getting it so they don't sustain into the lane a little bit longer. It's true. Oh no, Tuturo, he might get caught out here. Donkey coming in with a wild charge, but again, he has the protection of Vin nearby him to kind of push the team away, deterring them because they don't know where Sin is, and I think that's the issue that EVOS Legends is having right now.
Well, EVOS Legends, of course, having an issue to actually get themselves out in the open because they need to find a way to defend, and this is definitely not a great signal for them yet, but Recure has purchased that immortality. A little bit of a switcheroo in terms of items, as we see Lem trying to actually find a way to stop Aura from pushing, and now a little bit of that sort of a push and pull between that jungle, but members of WorldChampion are grouping up over the top lane.
Yeah, the rest of the team is slowly peeling backwards into the jungle. They're struggling to keep control over it because of how RRQ is kind of playing this game. Oh, he gets a good pick on to Donkey. Donkey might be in a little bit of trouble, but the Nightmare spawn is right on top of them, making sure that they're using the empowered version to get hits with that Hive clones. Liam is forced to be pulled back. EVOS Legends and RRQ are just wrestling for control over the jungle.
Well, RRQ now have the power in their hands, but it's really hard to actually juggle the waves properly, especially when you have Zast. Somebody needs to find a way to take down Rekt before they could actually go into close out a game. And look at them, just pots after pots, it's just full item stacked for every single one of all these players. So right now, gold doesn't matter anymore. They're going to break that 10K mark real soon for RRQ. Here comes Wall Charge onto its Liam, and there goes. Well, Righteous Pathway will keep himself safe and sound, regenerating some health back in order.
Yeah, and again, fact, this stalemate is going to keep on going until somebody makes a mistake. And again, Donkey gets away the dragon, but there is not much follow-up. Donkey doesn't really care because he barely takes any damage from it anyway. He's going to use the power of nature to kind of clear up that bot wave. The only issue EVOS Legends is having right now is the fact that they're down by 2 inhibitors, so they always have to deal with top and bottom kind of pushing into them. And especially mid lane, where RRQ has the most control, it's getting pushed in constantly.
Yep, and then for RRQ, they know how to make sure that EVOS Legends gets themselves way too occupied. And now, this might just be the final lord, but I can't say too soon.
Yeah.
There's so many lords that have already been taken down, and we really just gotta save our voice for a little bit. And even for the players themselves, they know there's a lot of risks that they might not need to take. And speaking of risks here,
Donkey's in trouble. He goes back in with a wild try. He whips. Oh no! This could be big with the arrival on the bottom side. This is a 4v3, and it's not looking too good. Aura is trying to turn this around. He's trying to kill Lemon, but it's not going to be enough. He's on his last health bar. He needs to turn this around with the third hit of Jacundo. Lemon, smooth as butter, takes him out with the help of his high loss. RRQ with that arrival alone is shutting down this Masha.
They lost Donkey. They lost one more.
Oh no! Oh no! Sid's in trouble. He's so low, but there is no follow-up for the rest of the team as Juan in the backline gets locked down by both Mid and Liam.
Liam now going in for that push, and Rek has been caught out. This might just be it. They have a minute wave, and Lemon is trying to spot out where the Luminaire is going. Luminaire's gonna hop right back, but they have all it takes to close things out. 1 versus 4. Can they do it? Newman on blast to try to remove the minute, but they get pulled back. Lemon going in for the kick as well, and here comes Lemon soaking 1 big hit coming from the crystal. Now up to Donkey. The best tank in the world has to do his duty, and even the best may fall in that sort of sense. And RRQ looking to close out game 1 in this sort of a matchup, but there's still the minutes not reaching the base. Here goes Aura.
The timing is just so poor. They just the minions, they completely block. They need to wait a little bit longer. This is going to buy time for Lilia. Aura pushing the wave away. He needs to survive, but he's not. He goes down straight away. 2 more seconds until Lilia comes back up. It's not going to be enough. This is it.